Again, we want to go ahead and get started while some of you guys are kind of finishing your desserts and kind of get the ball rolling here. That's usually a long night. Tonight's really kind of a night for just really kind of reflecting and sharing the memory, culminating the whole season for all three teams. It's really fun. I really appreciate the fact that the guys are dressed up and they look sharp, and that's kind of what we teach them is dress to impress out here. You're representing not only the school and your team, but you're representing your family, your parents, and that's important. And they did a great job tonight, so I want to thank them for doing that. We've got a number of different awards that we're going to do. We're going to have the freshmen, and they're going to go through their awards, and then we're going to have the junior varsity, and then of course we'll finish with the varsity team. Before we do that, we've got a couple things that we need to kind of get out of the way here. And again, just kind of as a reminder, just some housekeeping here. All the returners, don't forget, we're going to be starting summer ball here pretty soon. We need to have physicals. Everybody needs to have their physical done, or you will not be eligible to play. And we keep harping on that, but since we've got everybody here, that's always a kind of a reminder for parents and yourself. Also, we need the paperwork, the fees. We got to purchase the hats, the t-shirts, everything for the summertime. Get that going, okay? We appreciate your help there. And again, really do, we want to thank all the parents. As Donna said, in the last 4 years, that might seem like a lot of money, and it really is if you just look at the dollar sign, but every penny of it is spent. It really is. Everything goes right back into the program. We do have one of the nicest high school public fields anywhere, if you look at it. And a lot of that comes to the hard work of the parents raising money from golf tournament, casino night, you name it. This goes on and on and on, and that basically is you parents. Thank you very much. It makes it a lot easier for the coaching staff to coach when you have some facilities that the kids can appreciate, and we constantly tell the kids, you got to understand that this would not happen. We would not have what we have if it wasn't for your parents. So a big shout out to you guys, and I want to thank you. Again, I want to thank, of course, our administration. I don't think they're here tonight toward the end of the year now, and of course graduation's coming, and it's going to be a little crazy time for them. Of course, it's kind of fun this year. The graduation will be at Angel Stadium, so the seniors will. It's going to be kind of cool. Fred Kelly, of course, is nothing there, so we got to have somewhere to have graduation, so that's going to be kind of cool. And we want to thank, of course, the board. A great tribute to Don. Don has been kind of my right-hand man. I've been helping him. He's been helping me for the last couple of years as I've been president. A lot of stress in that job, but the people that take care of that business, Eric and Lisa and Donnie and of course Steve and David, everybody that for this whole year, the amount of meetings and work and phone calls, and it's just a lot of stress to try to help these kids, and I want to make sure that everybody knows that they deserve as much kudos for the work and the time that they put in, because they get nothing for it other than doing it for the kids. We have our annual toy drive that we partner up with the Anaheim Fire Department. We have in the past we've done an equipment drive that we partner up with a church in Mexico, and we take a lot of our equipment every couple of years and we donate it down there. A lot of you families helped out, and you donated a lot of gift cards and stuff to the kid from Yorba Linda when he got hurt, showing that we're sincere about you're a player. It doesn't matter if you're an opponent for us, but we care about you, and that was the people at Yorba Linda really appreciated that. So that was kind of cool. And they showed a lot of class about what Canyon baseball is about. And it has been. I'm very lucky. We were talking over there that there's really only been 3 head coaches at Canyon. Heidelberg was the first one, then of course Coach Hagen and myself. In that, not necessarily in that order, but it's been a fun journey teaching at Canyon. And it's now of course I get to find some other stuff. We're all teaching and coaching when it's the coaching season. Of course. A lot of things that we do is we really want the kids to understand that being the kind of person you are is maybe more important than the kind of player you are. We talk about, treat people the way you want to be treated. Good things happen to good people. You need to be a man about certain things, and even though our 3 teams didn't have the seasons that we wanted, you know, maybe some disappointment there, and like, you know, they said it was a little, you know, kind of, I think Johnny was talking about the roller coaster season. That's baseball. That is absolutely baseball in a nutshell right there. And if, as a baseball player, if you can't handle that, you know, with adversity, get up off the ground, dust yourself off, and keep fighting, then you're never going to be very good. And our kids did a great job this year. I mean, we've had some tough losses. You know, we battled, but they're a good group of kids. Every team has a good group of kids, and you parents should be proud that you raised good group of kids. Every team, all 3 teams. You know, and there's always going to be, they're high school kids. You know, when I was in high school, I was a demon. You know, that's the way it goes. You know, like, we all get in a little bit of trouble, right? But it is what it is. The world is a lot different today. It's crazy today, and you got to be able to keep your head on straight, because you know, it's going to continue to change. And we're really proud of our guys this year, all 3 levels. I want to thank our coaching staff. Down on the lower level, we of course had Spencer and Josh. They did a fantastic job working with the kids. On the junior varsity team, of course, we had Maddie, and we had Riley, and we had Miguel working with those kids. And then of course on the varsity, you know, I think is one of the best coaching staffs around. Not only did we have Donnie out there, of course, but we had Jason, who's my sidekick. 5 years ago, we decided to come back, and he's a former Comanche. He played here, one of our great players. And we took on the job 5 years ago to kind of, you know, do what we could do as far as keeping the Canyon tradition alive. Okay. Of course, we have Vinny Ayala, and he's a PE teacher over here at Canyon. So he's been, you know, everybody knows him at school, and he's a great guy. And he's been a former head coach himself at a couple of different places. And then we got Zach Roland, and of course Zach is the one who took over my classroom, and now he knows what it's like to be tortured by history kids over there. And then of course I talked my son Alex, who's a former Canyon kid here, to be our pitching coach this year. And of course with that kind of staff, you know, it was a lot easier for me not to have to micromanage it. I could let them do their thing, let the kids do their thing. And, you know, we had some really good games this year. It was exciting, especially that Angel game. That Angel game was really exciting. Probably the only other exciting moment might have been, you know, the Bartolone moment, you know. Again, we crack up about, you know, Steven comes up and almost hits it out, and then, of course, he makes one of the greatest catches in Canyon history we've ever seen. But you know, our season was kind of like that in a sense. We have some great moments, and then some other moments we had disappointing. But that's baseball. That's baseball right there. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and get started with sort of some presentations that we start off with every year. And one thing is, I want to bring a guy up first and present him with his award. And this goes to the only kid in the program that actually is playing 3 sports. He's playing 3 varsity sports, and it's become a rarity at Canyon now because of so much going on. You know, when we were in high school as older guys, we played 3 sports all the time. That's just kind of how it was, but we didn't have the travel ball, we didn't have the demands that all these other sports have now on you. So, you know, to play 2 sports nowadays, and we've got a lot of guys who are playing 2 sports, you know, is a wonderful thing. And it's a lot of time demands on not only, you know, on the field, but in the classroom and with the family and church and that kind of stuff. So, you know, when you got a guy that can play 3 sports, they want to recognize that as part of the school. That's called the Iron Man Award, and you get a special patch for that. And of course, he's our guy that is on the varsity football team, the varsity soccer team, and of course the varsity baseball team. Gabe Gallardo. Okay, now we're going to get into what we call our academic section, and Jason's going to help me out here. We're going to start with our scholar athlete. Again, if there's somebody, every now and then, we don't do this, it's the administration does it. So if you feel like you were left off this list, please don't yell at me now, yell at me later on or something, and we'll take care of it. It's not that big a deal. On the cross soft team, Our first recipient of our Scholar Athlete is Ryan Whitaker. Our next recipient of Scholar Athlete Award, Albert Orowski. Our next Scholar Athlete Award goes to Sean Lish. Next Scholar Athlete Award goes to Chris Green. Next Scholar Athlete goes to Robert Gonzalez. Next Scholar Athlete, Mike Gonzalez. Next Scholar Athlete, Ethan Gears. Next Scholar Athlete, Evan Brandt. And our final Scholar Athlete on the Frosh-Off team is Peter Lim. Our Scholar Athletes Frosh-Off team. Junior varsity Scholar Athletes, Colby Williams. Next Scholar Athlete Award, Gabe Ramirez. Next Scholar Athlete Award, Logan Racewitz. Our next Scholar Athlete Award, Jonah Messenger. Next Scholar Athlete, Marlo Legata. Our next Scholar Athlete, Nolan Nikamura. Our next Scholar Athlete, Jeff Hawley. Our next Scholar Athlete, Brett Eskelson. (2019) Junior Varsity Scholar Athlete Award. Okay, varsity Scholar Athletes. Our first one, Jonathan Young.
I know he did. It's the haircut.
Next Scholar Athlete Award, William St. Marseille. Dad's a little shook up back there. Our next Scholar Schmidt. Next scholar athlete, Big John Landry. Next scholar athlete, Andrew Gaspar. Next scholar athlete, the Connor Cliff. Next, our last scholar athlete is the Mr. Highlight Film himself, Stefano Bartolone. 2019 Varsity Scholar Athlete. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started right into the team. So we're going to start with the crosswalk team for 2019. Coaches, come on up. 'Cause To start off, I'm very proud of this team right here. These guys, like Coach Nair said, all these teams, not the pitch perfect season we wanted, but these guys I'm very proud of. I know I wasn't there a ton, to say the least, but when I was there, from day one to the last day, you guys were incredible. The passion, the heart, everything that you guys had was awesome. Thank you. As far as the season goes, we didn't have the season we wanted, but we had the outcome that we wanted. Everyone learned what they need to get better at, and every single person improved, whether it's attitude, effort, offense, defense, pitching, whatever it was, you guys all did a great job. So thank you for all the hard work and everything you guys gave this season. As far as Coach Nahara said, we teach these guys not only baseball, but how to be better human beings. And there's one game in particular that stands out. It was Villa Park. We were playing at Villa Park, and we were getting our butts kicked. Straight up, those guys were good, right, guys? And these guys battled, and every time we made a play, one of their guys was just talking smack. They were honest like no other. And these guys kept playing. Finally the game's over, and the score was not pretty. But the first thing I said to these guys was that I was proud of them, because every single one of these guys kept their cool, and they were fantastic sportsmen. So you guys, that's exactly what we want as people and as athletes.
right? When we go on that field, we want to be the best that we can be, and you guys were. So thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Josh, and he's going to do the awards.
Alright, so this is just for the athletic participation award for playing baseball. Like I said, obviously. Alright, before that begins, I just want to say, first year coaching, had a total blast. It was tons of fun. These kids, every day, always something to laugh about going on, something's happening. I really enjoyed it. And I can't be more grateful, you know, because I had a ton of fun. These kids are great. All right, I'm going to start with this off. Clemente, Arizona. Richard Blanchard. Evan Brandt. Ethan Gibbs. Mike Gonzalez. Robert Gonzalez. Chris Green. Peter Lim. Sean Lish. Albert Ogrodsky. Ryan Whitaker. All right. Daniel Falcon. Eris Castro. That's your 2019 Rock Shot team. All right, now we're going to do the regular awards. Start off with the Coaches Award. This kid, every time, yes coach, what do I need to do? You know, always asking for help, you know, always willing to go do something if he's told. One time in particular, we saw in practice he was working hard, so like, okay, you don't need to run after practice, you're fine. But come to when everyone else is running, he's like, coach, I'm gonna run with them. So he went and go ahead, ran with them, even though we didn't have to, you know, that's the type of player like we wanted on our team. All right, this kid, you know, every time practice, it was great. Clemente, Arizona. Next, we're going to go Defensive Player of the Year. This kid, you know, makes all the routine plays, doesn't make a lot of errors. You know, did great defensively, always worked on stuff during practice, you know, did what he needed to do out on the field. Ryan Whitaker. Next, we're going to do the Pitcher of the Year. this one, very proud of him. Coming into the season, I wanted, pitchers who just threw strikes and could hit the zone. This kid did more than that. He was able to hit his spots. He trusted me when I was calling pitches. He kept the games close when they were. He could go 5, 6, 7 innings. It'd be great, and he was able to do that for us, and couldn't ask for more from him. Michael Gonzalez. All right, and last one, we're gonna do the most valuable player. This kid in practice, worked hard, always trying to get better. Whether it be pitching, hitting, defensive, he was doing everything. Probably one of our best hitters. Come up to the ball, you knew he was going to hit it or make contact. Didn't strike out a lot, and it was great because he gave us a chance. Whether it was hitting, pitching, defense, we always knew, it was going to be great. Ethan Gibbs.
Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to keep rolling here. Again, the one thing that I really enjoyed was, of course, that I am so proud that both Spencer and Josh played for us, and former Comanches, and they want to give back to the school that they played at, and they were both great players themselves. They were players that you could count on, and that kind of reflects the kind of what they want as they're coaching now. And they're young, they're learning, and again, this is Josh's first year, and he loved the game so much that when I asked him if he wanted to think about coaching, he jumped right in. And of course, even after coaching 40 years, we can always learn something. We're always learning. We're always, if you make mistakes, you do what you got to do. But I'm so happy to have both of them working with our team and this year, and it was fun. It was good. They did the best they could, and it was, we're very proud of them. Proud of the team and them. Okay. Junior varsity. Let's bring up Maddie, Miguel, Riley. Guys, come on up.
Good evening, everyone. Coach Matt Lawson. Right next to me is Coach Miguel and Coach Riley. First, I'd like to thank them for helping me out this year and coming out and putting in their time and effort to help out these kids. Started out pretty good this year. We're coming in hot. Bats are hot. We had defense was solid, our pitching was solid, but we had a couple injuries at the beginning of the season with arms, which kind of set us back, and we just worked through it. Kids worked hard. They played positions they hadn't played in a while, and they pushed through it and gave a good effort. And that's all we ask for from them as coaches. That's about it. Let's move on to the awards. Participation award. First up, James Brodsky. Logan Contreras. Brett Eskelson. Nick Jeff Hawley. Nolan Ikamura. Jacob Kreidel. Carlo Lagata. Jonah Messenger. Logan Racewitz. Gabe Ramirez. Blake Rizut. Then Colby Williams. Nick Marks. That's your 2019 JV baseball. All right, first up we have the Coaches Award. This player was always asking for advice, how to get better, how to improve. He was also one of our top offensive guys on the team. And our leadoff hitter is Nolan Ikamura. All right, Offensive Player of the Year, led the team with the highest average, 329, and majority of the categories. Offensively, always has good ABs, and it's Jonah Messenger. All right, this guy we could, for Defensive Player of the Year, always ask him to play anywhere. He's our utility guy. He plays center field, third, short, second, even pitch. He was a stud. James Brodsky. All right, for our MVP, another one of our top hitters, pitcher, infielder, always working hard, always asking what he can do to improve, and that's Fred Eskelson. That's a wrap for 2019 JV.
I want to thank Coach Matt for what may have seemed like a very thankless job. I know it was difficult to keep our team focused and motivated. I want to acknowledge his time and commitment to the last season and our development as baseball players. He was a good sport when we would harp on him, displaying lots of patience in dealing with this group of guys. We would like to wish you good luck as you leave Canyon for a time to go back to school and get your teaching credentials. You will be missed here, and thanks again for all that you've done for us.
We all met Coach Miguel during the summer league. Everyone had heard rumors about this guy, and sadly, all the rumors were true. This guy yelled at us for almost everything we did, and when he tried to correct us, I think I speak for everyone when I say I had no idea what he was talking about. When the season started, everyone actually missed Coach since he had other commitments, and we were all happy to see him whenever he can come. Coach Miguel helped us figure out what we were doing wrong. He was able to keep guys in check, and he was still able to joke around with us. And he was our good luck charm until we lost 16-1. Coach, you truly helped make this season one of the most fun seasons I've ever had. And I'll never forget the moments we shared during the season. I would list some of these moments, but I was told that I shouldn't talk about these. So for the sake that I don't get cut tonight, I won't talk about these moments. The bottom line is, Coach, you made the season very fun and enjoyable, and we all thank you for showing up to as many games as you could despite your busy schedule. And thank you for sticking it out with us throughout this roller coaster of a season.
Coach Riley, you made this season one to remember. You weren't with us for that long, but your time coaching was memorable. The advice you gave us all made us better players and men. Your constant motivation and honesty pushed us all to improve. Thank you for bringing out the best in all of us and making the game of baseball more enjoyable. Without your base coaching, we all would be lost. Thank you for being my favorite gator hunting redneck. Yee. And then I just want to thank Mrs. Eskelson for being our team mom this season, so can you come up?
Okay, we want to bring the flush off boys up so they can do their work.
The person I'll be recognizing today is Coach Spencer. Coach Spencer played a huge role in our season. Although our record wasn't the best, we made big improvements, and Coach Benny was a big part of that. He brought us wisdom, experience, laughter, and love of the game. He taught us how to slow the game down and take a step back. He reminded us to think about what situation was going to happen next so we knew how to react. He was patient with our faults and encouraging of our success. He even made us laugh. We only had 2 wins this season, and Coach wasn't there for the first one, which kind of sucked because it was a great game. But he was there for our second win against El Dorado. We were talking about the game at practice one day, not a week later, and Coach forgot all about the game. We definitely reassured him we had won that game. Now, Coach wasn't there sometimes because he'd become a firefighter. He did take all days off practice to go pursue his dreams. We definitely fully supported on this, but we just wish we had more time with him because he brings so much value to our program. So thank you, Spenny, for putting up with us all, pushing us, and for being there for us. We wish you luck, Coach, in whatever you do next, whether it's saving lives as a fireman or teaching the game of baseball. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you to the coaching staff, and most of all, thank you to Coach Josh. Coach Josh wants not only to be good at the game physically, but to always be prepared mentally. It might have been his first year coaching at Canyon, but he did an amazing job. He would always know what to say if anything went wrong. Coach Josh knew everything and anything if it comes down to throwing a baseball or stealing a base. He knew what he was doing. All this helped us as a team to improve our skill level, know what to do and when to do it, and enjoy the game of baseball. My experience with Josh was awesome. I learned many new techniques to use as a catcher, and we also had fun hitting Danny in the head with a routine pop fly. Even though we don't have the season we all wanted to have, I'm sure we all had fun going through our first and some second years of Canyon baseball with Coach Josh. So once again, thank you. One last thing, we'd also like to recognize our team mom, Amelia Castro. Can you please come up?
Excellent job, guys. As we get to the varsity guys here, kind of the end of the road, again, I don't want to forget that, again, we want to thank all the parents that had the team dinners, and that kind of started a few years ago, where we get the guys, at first it was just the varsity, and then the junior varsity cross-off kind of got into that, which was a great thing. So you parents that opened up your homes and provided meals for these guys to kind of get together and do some camaraderie, we want to thank you. It's a really good nature thing you're doing, and part of that is, as we play, we want each team to be able to trust, the guys have to trust each other and realize whether we win or lose, we're all on the same team here, and that's just part of the way it has to be. And that's those dinners and those kind of events, it really does kind of help us out. On the varsity, of course, in the fall, we go to Palm Springs and play a tournament out there. We go to Vegas and play a tournament out there, and we try to get these guys into a mode that they have to be able to trust each other, win or lose, and it's a good camaraderie thing, and we enjoy doing that. But again, parents, want to thank you for everything you do. Again, Booster Board, I want to thank them. Donnie and Debbie, they did an amazing job helping us with the snack bar, and of course Donnie getting rid of all our gophers and stuff and helping me there because they were driving me crazy, right? But there's a lot that goes into it, and of course all the work behind the scenes that people don't know about is being taken care of by some people that are very, very special to us, and they do a wonderful job for us. As we get started on our varsity team here, of course you start thinking about, boy, where did the year go? Where did the 4 years go? I remember when Alex and my other son Darren were just freshmen, and then before you know it, they graduated and they went on, and now they're working as, in the workforce, and it just goes so quick. And, our seniors, of course, as you notice, some wonderful pictures up here. These were our pictures for the field that we have, and then we got if you haven't taken a chance to look at it yet, our pictures over here from Angel Stadium. Those are kind of the things that when you're a senior, you get that special thing that we like to do for them, and they're very, very special. We know that Justin Allen, of course, he's a superstar. That kid really was a kid that could play not only baseball, but a stud goalie for the water polo team. He was a goalie for soccer. He's going to go off and, I believe, saddle back to college and play water polo there. So, his career is going to take off, and he's going to do something special. Stephen Barlow is going to go over to Cal State Fullerton, right? And he'll be close by, but he's going to continue his education at the college level, and that's a wonderful thing. We've got Connor Clips going to play baseball over at Cal Baptist, along with Will St. Marseille. So we got two guys that are going to go out together and see the next level. JT, I'm hoping that I get a chance to watch some games when if he decides he wants to go to Santa Ana and play for the Dons over there, and they're one of the top-notch junior college baseball teams around. Big John Landry, of course, he's gonna go off and to Mississippi State and go to college and have a good time over there. And of course, we're gonna miss John. I've known John since he was tiny little guy, giving lessons to, and I know their family, wonderful family, so we're going to miss John. Rock, of course, is, I believe, going to go to Washington State, and you know, and bear the winters up there, but it's a great school. You know, just watch out for those Huskies, you know, the Washington team over there on the other side there. So hopefully he'll get a chance maybe to play some ball up there if he decides, but I know he's going to be a heck of a student. Spencer, of course, is going to go over to Azusa Pacific, continue his baseball career over there, and hopefully we're going to see some exciting things from him over there. We're going to miss our seniors, no doubt about it. I mean, Jason and I took the team over, like we said, 5 years ago, and it wasn't always that good. We had some seniors that didn't really care for us because they had had 3 head coaches in 3 years, so it was a little hard for them to kind of get used to the discipline and the things that we wanted to, the style of baseball that we wanted to have. And so, you know, now we get the seniors, and it is tough. It is tough to see them leave. They go off and they're going to the next chapter of their life. But it's a cool thing because we know that hopefully we're a little bit part of their lives for 4 years when they're here at Canyon High School. We're going to go ahead and bring the players up. And come on up here and line up, and give you a chance to let everybody see who you are. And I know a lot of times you only saw their individual teams, and you really didn't get a chance to know who a lot of you guys are. First guy, let's bring you up, Justin Allen. So each player, of course, on the varsity level will get their letter. If they are returners and they already have a letter, then they get a bar that goes on there saying that they were already second or third year varsity player. And so we'll, you know, just let us know if we have to get you that because we've got them up here. Okay. Okay, our next player, Jonathan Young. They're giving you directions, huh? All right, here we go. Our next player. This is just one night. You had to put up with this all season. Sotero Ureno. William St. Marseille. Ethan Schmidt. Rob Pursuit. Spencer Rasmussen. Jackson Ullman. Jacob McClure. Isaac Maracini. Cameron McGee. And John Landry. JT Justin Quart. Andrew Gaspar. Gabriel Gallardo. Stephen Barlow. The Connor Cliff. Okay, well, we have them all up here together again. You know, it was, as some kids would say, kind of a roller coaster season. We just had some great games, though. You know, early in the season, we went up with one of the top teams, Aliso Miguel, and we just boat raced them. We beat them, what, 7-0 or something, and we just took it to them. We looked fantastic. We beat Bishop Amat. You know, we played some really, really good games, and you know, but again, I keep saying it's baseball. You're gonna have your ups and downs and stuff. But pro teams, college teams, they all do it. But we had, the year really was sparkled with some really good games. That the game at Angel Stadium was just a heck of a game. It was a fun game. They actually were one of the top teams in Division III in the playoffs, and we took it to them. We actually should have beat Foothill all 3 games. You know, we really did. We outplayed them, and we just came up short on a couple of the games. But when Brock was pitching the second game, it was lights out. He just took it to them. They had no chance. But you know, throughout the season, we each had games where one guy would step up, and it wasn't just a one-man team. You know, it was definitely, pitching was our highlight. You know, Spencer came through. We had Will, we had JT. You know, Ethan and Gabe chipped in for us. John Landry wanted to pitch, but we didn't quite get him in there a lot. You know, he didn't do some bullpens for us. He was our go-to guy if we ever got there. But you know, hitting wise, the seniors, you know, they were the guys that really kind of took charge during the season and really kind of showed us that they matured, because it is a huge, huge jump from junior varsity to varsity. And don't let anybody kid you. A lot of guys think, oh yeah, it's not that big a deal. No, it is a huge jump, and a lot of guys just can't make that jump. And so we're hoping that the junior varsity team this year is going to be able to fill the big shoes of our seniors that are going to be leaving us this year, because they're big shoes. We are going to miss these guys because not only are they really special baseball players, but they are great guys, great kids, and that's basically, again, like we say, I'd rather have somebody that's a great person, maybe even better than a great baseball player, because a great person is for life. And they're going to be great dads one day, they're going to be great brothers, they're great, you know, everything you can imagine, that's what we have on this team. I mean, we didn't regret having one guy. Our first couple of years, where, like I said, some of the seniors, we just butted heads with, but these guys, you know, it was an absolute pleasure, okay? 2019 varsity baseball team. We're going to have all the coaches kind of come up here and help us with some of the special awards. We have a couple of special awards here that we've got an event happening this Saturday, and it is the senior showcase over at the Great Park. And if you get a chance, the game's at 4:30. We've got 3 guys that are going to be playing that, seniors that were selected. We also, at that time, there is a sophomore showcase, and we've got a couple of guys that are going to were selected to play on that. The 2 sophomores that were selected to play in the sophomore showcase, and we're going to bring them up right now, is Cameron McGee. our 3 seniors that will be participating in Saturday's 4:30 game at the Great Park. And don't forget, you guys got to be there at 3:30 for your picture thing, right? Of course, is Spencer Rasmussen. Connor Cliff. 2019 Showcase participants. All league. What makes it tough on all league is, when you win league, you get more guys on the team. Unfortunately, I wish we would have been league champs. I thought we should have been. We were easily the best team, but again, it doesn't always work out that way, and you deal with it, and that's just kind of how it works out. The guys who did make all league this year were guys where their statistics had to be only during league. It was not during the whole year. It was only during the league. And what they voted on was, the first one was what they call the Rookie of the Year, which is usually the guy first time on the varsity and what kind of season he had during the league. And that Rookie of the Year is Andrew Gaspar. Next player, second team All-League, Spencer Rasmussen. Next player, second team All-League, Connor Cliff. Definitely one of the top players in the league, made first team. Without a doubt, all the coaches agreed, Jacob McClure. And then as the coaches looked at the positions, they looked at all the pictures from each team, and hands down, basically, they felt that the top pitcher in the league, and like I said, this guy was lights out against Foothill. Pitcher of the year for all league, Brock Pursuit.
Okay, the first award that I'm going to hand out tonight for the varsity is the most improved player. And if you take a look at overall as a team, there's a lot of important parts of the team, but catching is absolutely very, very important. beginning of the year, we were a little concerned in that area, and we tried a few guys, both some of the JV guys, and we ended up with Sotero being our backup catcher for the year. Sotero, I gotta tell you, buddy, was a little nervous come, November or December. This kid worked hard. We sat there and worked on a lot of things where we taught him that bullpens were not just for pitchers, they were for catchers, and he took it serious. He might be one of the best receivers, best framers that I've seen at this age. Young man was fantastic all through the season. Didn't get to play as much as he wanted to, but by God, he hung in there and learned every ball game. Sat right next to me, and we talked about situations the whole time. Most improved player, Sotero.
Hello, everybody. First, I'd like to thank Coach Nahara. Thank you for allowing me to be on your staff and work with these young men and coaches, parents, the families, the boosters, the players. It's been a real pleasure. So, I get to talk about the Comanche of the Year award. This award right here is basically to be a Comanche. Obviously, for the Year award, you have to have dedication, hustle, leadership, all the things that go with that. And this player never complained, always worked hard. He's a really good athlete, good teammate. Was always asking questions. He had a lot to offer. It was real fun to be around. I'm just going to bring him up here. Stefano Bartolone, come on. I just want to say a few things while he's up there shaking the hands. He had probably one of the greatest games that a player could have in high school, and I'll tell you what, he made one of the most fantastic catches I've ever seen. And the funny thing is, though, is he worked on that. He did that every day, and he basically prepared for that moment, and he really defined the moment, and he did a great job. Stefano Bartolone.
Good evening, everybody. First, I just want to say thank you to Coach Nahara and the rest of the coaching staff, boosters, players, everyone involved in this program. It was a blast this year. I'm going to be presenting the Coaches Award, and this award embodies, the type of player that us coaches love to come out every day and work with. It started all the way about this time last year, all the way to practice on Friday. Guy gives 100% every single day, whether it's the weight room, practice field, in the game, backing up his teammates on the bench, giving 100% effort, everything he does on and off the field. Really proud to see the progress he's made as a player and where he's going to go from here. Isaac Maricino.
All right. I want to echo what Vinny and Zach both said. I appreciate these guys out here. It's a blast coaching with them, and thank you, Coach Nahara, 5 years ago when we came back to coach. Appreciate that. I'm going to talk about the High Level Scholarship Award. And for those of you who don't know High Level, he was our first coach here at Canyon. Our varsity field is named after him. And this award embodies character, and High Level is a man of character. He always pushed his teams, got them to do the best they can do. He worked hard tirelessly. I got to play for him when Coach Nahara was the head coach and High was an assistant. He is just a man of few words, but when he said it, you knew he was talking to you, and you got to pay attention, and it was important. Everything he said was important. And he got his teams to play extremely well. This individual that's going to receive the High Level Scholarship Award has that character. He works hard, plays for his team, no quit attitude. I've known him since he's 11 years old. He
and I butt heads, but I think deep down we love each other as well. He's stubborn and but I want you guys to understand, stubborn in a good way. The kid wants to be good at everything he does. He wants to perfect his swing. He wants to perfect his craft. He just wants to be perfect, and he wants to be the one to do it. Okay? He doesn't want anybody to tell him, which, that's fine, that's good. And I have no doubt that this kid is going to be successful whatever he does in life. Whether that's playing baseball at the next level, which he's going to be doing, or if that's running a business one day, or running for office. The guy can talk more than anybody I've ever seen. So the guy, he's amazing. We're gonna miss this guy. He showed a lot of character. 4 years here as a varsity player, excellent teammate, excellent person. I'm proud to say I've watched him grow to be a tremendous person and baseball player. So congrats on Cal Baptist University and extending your playing career. The ceiling is extremely high, and I'm looking forward to watching you. Connor Clift.
Good evening, everybody. I would also like to piggyback off what all the other coaches have said. You know, when my dad asked me to be part of the staff, it was more than just a yes. It was an absolutely. I grew up around this program being 3 years old, so being a part of it along with these guys was something that you can't put into words. And coaching these guys was a great experience for me. So I'll get right into it. Pitcher of the Year award for us for 2019 was an individual who pitched 45 innings for us. A 1.24 ERA, which in high school baseball, that's hard to do. A sub-2 ERA, walked 9 batters, which those of you who follow baseball, it's also hard to do. And I think he had 26 strikeouts. So there's a reason he not only achieved the MVP pitcher of the award for the league, but also for our team. So I'd like to bring up Brock Rizzuto.
Our final award goes to the Most Valuable Player Award. You know, it really could have gone to a handful of guys if we looked at specific games and pitching and defense and hitting and that kind of stuff. But for 2 years, our team sort of generated around this kid who, when he hit, we hit. And then they always talk about hitting being contagious, and there was no doubt. A year ago, he was playing third base, and it was scary. You know, he was airmailing balls, and he was just having a really tough time. And then this year, he just lights out. I think in 30 games, he made 1 error. And some of the plays he was making was unbelievable. It was highlight film type of stuff. He not only played third base for us, he got on the mound for us. You know, our top hitter just lit it up. The other teams basically would just put him on. You know, they knew he was coming up. They knew that let's walk him. You know, I mean, we don't want to deal with him. You know, just a bulldog mentality. And you know, as a junior, we're very excited to have him coming back and be the leader of the team next year with a brand new crop of guys. But for the 2019 Most Valuable Player Award, Jacob McClure. Okay, let's have a seat.
Hello, everybody.
My name is JT Court. I am one of the players on the varsity team this year, and also a senior. And I'm going to be talking about our second favorite coach behind Don, Mr. Nahara. So, one thing I want to make specific before I start this, we have a thing on this team called the Nahara voice. It's a very specific voice that we all do. Kind of sounds like that what everybody just did, so I just wanted to lay that down before I started this because I'm going to involve that a little bit because we would make a lot of jokes about that as a team. So 4 years of baseball here at Canyon, I probably had about 10 coaches, and there's only one coach that I know that can take a line drive to the thumb, break it, and tell the kid to hit it harder. One time, Coach Nahara was throwing me soft toss in the cage, and I hit a ball off his shoulder, and I thought I was going to be responsible for elderly abuse. He shook it off, looked at me, and said, "JT, let's go." He was an animal, I'm telling you people. I've never seen someone get hurt and act like you gave them a gift. Besides him being superhuman, he also has a very select sense of humor. Some days all he does is crack jokes, and some days all he does is yell at us and tell us to stop hitting home runs. I am very serious about that. Connor hit a home run at Eldo and he told him to stop doing it. Going off of the stop hitting home runs, he also was very specific about hitting the ball to the right side. I'd pop up, "JT, hit the ball to the right side. How hard is it?" I'm sorry, Coach. It was kind of difficult, and I apologize. Even though you're grumpy sometimes, you really do care about the kids on the team and the kids you've taught. Besides being one of the greatest baseball coaches to ever coach in Orange County, you've taught for 40 years, and I was the last class you went out with to me, so that's pretty cool. Some of these parents were your students, and I guarantee they still remember you teaching them. I had you as a junior, and I was a TA for you this year, and I always remember the story of you having to teach kids who didn't even speak English. You're a grinder, and you've worked hard for everything you have. You've taught me lessons I'll never forget, and on and off the baseball field. No matter what, you always had my back with family issues, school stuff, and baseball. I can consider you someone to go to whenever I need someone to help me no matter what. Thank you for an amazing 2 years, and never forget to tell your future team, "Hey boys, let's go get some dinner."
All right, I'm gonna keep this a little short. I'm sure you don't want to see me standing up here the whole time, so no. So I just want to thank Coach Ayala for all the countless hours he put in, not only to us outfielders, but into the field. I mean, you'd show up hours and hours before the games just to get the field ready for us, and I'm sure we all appreciate that. And he was a great outfield coach, gave us the best drills, we had the most fun in the outfield, so I just want to thank Coach Ayala.
Hi everybody, they're all making spitting noises because I spit a lot when I'm nervous. I've only spit a couple times so far. I was chosen to give a speech on Coach Zach, our infield coach, and probably the most passionate coach I've ever had. There are plenty of memories I can talk about, so I'll give you a few. One that my returners and I won't forget is Angel Stadium in 2018. One of the worst games we possibly could have had as a team, and Zach visibly was not happy after that game as we got no hit. In our post-game speech, it was his turn to speak. He started off angered, as he should have been, and told us to play with pride for what's on our chest. And then he went on a tangent and said, "You embarrassed yourselves in front of the whole school. Look at all the people in those seats." And he proceeded to turn around and show us nobody in the seats. That one cracked us up for a while, obviously. It still does today. So, I loved playing for Coach Zach, mainly because half the time we did infield drills, I was making throws from deep at short instead of receiving at first base. And the times we were in the weight room and he would play his emo remixes of top 100 songs that would get us pumped up. All jokes aside though, I had one heck of a time playing under him. I started off my varsity career as almost a full-time bench player and DH, and he helped me mature into a well-rounded defensive first baseman. I couldn't even thought of being a solid defender if it weren't for him, and I can say he helped many of my teammates in the same way and will continue to in the future years. Thank you, Coach Zach. I appreciate everything you've done for me and the team.
I'll get to that. Hello everyone, I'm John Landry, and to be honest, I'm going to stay away from the short jokes because I can barely see over the podium myself, so. Anyways, to be honest, Coach Jason, I really don't know where to start. Like, when I started playing baseball 15 years ago, I never thought there would be about 50 different bunt situations I would have to learn. I also never thought that I would have a coach that would rather have a ground ball through the right side than a home run. I also thought I would never have a coach that would have as much as an impact on my life as you have. You have taught me many life lessons, and have also taught me that if you want someone to do something right, just threaten them to make them do sprints. To be honest, I really don't know what's scarier. My mom yelling, "John, why do you have a missing assignment?" Or Jason saying, "Get on the line, sprinting pulls under 50, and if you don't make the time, we add another." I've also made a lot of memories under Jason's coaching, such as winning league my junior year and throwing up after his fantastic conditioning. Even though this year has probably been my last year of baseball, I will forever cherish and remember these past years under Jason's coaching. I would like to thank Jason for putting up with me and this group of guys this past year, and thank him for being a role model in my life. Thank you.
Alrighty, good evening. So this season was one of the most memorable years I've had playing baseball. Everything from the rows to the memes, to the coaches getting mad if you hit a home run like JT already said. And it all made this memory that will never be forgotten. One of the biggest contributors to this was Coach Alex. Alex was a big supporter of me and consistently told me to be confident, trust your stuff, go out and have fun, use your legs, and be aggressive. Probably 10 times a game, so I think I got the point on that one. The pitchers were lucky to work with Alex, but Will and I got promoted to the name Brothers. Yeah. That allowed us to, fortunately, call him Daddy without it being out of context. Still waiting on meeting Mom. All the guys here have the utmost respect and admire you. The chiseled jawline, the 8-pack abs, the edgy gang member tats, which personally, it's not my scene, but I'd probably go with the classic "I love you, Mom" and wave on the finger. In addition to that, you have given us all a lot of stuff to chew on, like parties are a priority, grades don't matter in college, and you dated Steve Nash's wife. All joking aside, thanks for always believing in me and the team. I hope you all enjoyed my speech. If not, I hope you had a good nap. Thank you.
For clarification, when Jason says that I was stubborn, it means that he would remind me every time my cranium was rectally inverted. Can I say that? Maybe about twice a week. Anyway, it's not the point. We're already here, so we can edit that part out of the video. So I am Coach Dahl. I've known Coach Don since the age of probably 7 years old. When I met JT, we played football, actually gave each other a concussion. Don and I instantly clicked. He always treated me like family. No matter what, I never felt like a friend. I always felt like I was one of your own. You know Don, if you were in the stands, because he would yell at me probably every other pitch of the game from the dugout about no matter what, that picture over there, he's probably going to find a problem with it, and I'll think about it every time I look at it from now on. The lessons that Don taught me on the field were important, but the lessons that he taught me off the field were far more important, and those will stick with me the rest of my life. Don taught me, no matter what, fight as hard as you can every single day, day in and day out, it doesn't matter. There's a few kids here that had some pretty impressive stats this year, but I'll tell you some more impressive ones. Don's gone through 57 rounds of chemotherapy, 38 rounds of immunotherapy, and over 30 surgeries. And he's still here today. In 2013, Don had his first operation, and I believe it was JT's pony ball team at the time. They made him a banner that he could hang up in his hospital room while he was recovering. Yeah, he remembers this story. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I was probably one of the last people to sign it, and there's about 30 or 40 people before me that wrote, "Get well, Don. Don, we love you. Don, you're in our prayers. We're always thinking about you." And this comment will give you a little glimpse inside of our relationship. I wrote, "Don, if you want attention, there's better ways of doing it." And when I went to drop off actually Sharon dropped off the poster, she hung it up in his hospital room, and I walked in, and when he saw me in the doorway, he had some choice words for me until I got all the way to his bed. And then he continued those words, but we sat there and laughed about it for probably 20 minutes afterwards. There were many days that I went over to JT's house for the smallest reasons. Even if it was to hang out with JT, I would end up sitting on the couch talking with Don, everything from catching to politics to some things I can't say into this microphone. I would always joke with him that every time, he's been in the hospital so much that I can't believe they wouldn't give him a room with an ocean view. I always thought that was so rude. Don, you, in all seriousness, you have made an amazing impact in my life for the past 11 years, and the impact that you've made on me will far outlive the past 11 years for the rest of my life. I know I'm reading this. I can't believe I know how to read. It's amazing. I will always remember you as the hardest fighter I've ever met, and you're still here kicking today. I'm so glad that we have the relationship that we do. Thank you for all that you've done with me the past 11 years. Your impact will live far beyond that for me, and thank you for being a second father to me the past 11 years.
All right, so I have the pleasure about talking about Brock Razook today. I've known Brock going on almost 9 years now. Over these last 9 years, we've had some of the best memories together. Whether it was shooting BB guns in his backyard, playing Black Ops 2, or driving to Laguna to hang out, Brock has been a huge part of my life. I've always looked up to Brock, even with our height differences. He's focused on and off the field. Brock is humble and puts his teammates first. Unless there's something wrong with his Range Rover, then his priorities change. Without Brock on the mound, we wouldn't have won as many games as we did.
I know whatever Brock does with his life, he'll be successful. I'm really going to miss him when he goes away to college. I can't wait till he come home during break so we can continue making crazy memories together. Shoot. The game was better because you were out there, Brock.
I got the pleasure for speaking about Justin Allen today. Justin Allen was extremely fun to be around on the field this year. He knew how to keep everyone laughing and having a good time at every practice and every game. But it wasn't just by what he said to us. Here's an example. This year, I think one of the scariest words Justin heard, and it will haunt his memory forever, was base running. Whenever Coach said this, or choice drill, which involves base running, you could see Justin's face change dramatically. Even the coaches laughed with us after the drill was over. I also remember at K-Zone batting cages, when we were having batting practice during a rainy day, Justin had taken the swing, and Coach Jason dropped the ball, leaned on the screen, looked him in the eye, and said, "Justin, are you even trying?" But in all honesty, even though some mistakes were made on the field, I won't get into the Temecula Valley game. We all know what happened there. No, but in all honesty, Justin was a great worker on and off the field, in the weight room and everything else he did. He's an extremely hard-working, caring, funny guy, and it was awesome to be able to hang out in the outfield with him this year. I'm going to miss you next year, dude. You're going to do great things during and after college, and I can't wait to see what you become.
All right. John Landry. Sure, he's a little short. During my freshman year, I mistook him for another freshman for the first 2 weeks of practice. Sure, his neck's a little wide and fairly reminiscent of a tree stump, but there's more to him than that. John was one of the first seniors I felt comfortable with this year. I was always able to ask John questions and pick his brain without being told off. John always did his fair share of field work and never used the excuse of seniority to get out of work, unlike Rass. Not a day went by without Landry being the hardest working guy on the team, whether on the field or in the weight room. Landry showed all of us younger guys how to play the game right and be a valuable part of this team. He frequently gave up at-bats to move runners over and do anything to give us the edge. But baseball is only a small part of who Landry is. He's a great guy off the field and away from baseball. I know he's going to go on to bigger and better things at Mississippi State, and he's going to do big things in his life. John, I love you, buddy. I'm going to miss you.
It was his hat, Mr. Krabs.
He was number one!
Well, where do I start, man? From playing OCP at 12 years old to playing Kahoot in class, which we both know that I won. I remember once I was playing left field, you were running back, and I did not see a hand go up, and I've never in my life seen anybody hit a wall harder. I ran over to you to make sure you're okay, and you started to laugh. Another time, this is my favorite story. You were starting pitching, and our coach at the time said you couldn't eat during the game because you were pitching. After the first inning you pitched, I came to the dugout, you had your head in your bag, and I thought you were mad, so I said, "Will, you good?" You turned around and looked at me with a bean cheese burrito in your mouth. Will's probably one of the smartest kids I've ever met. In Palm Springs, we played Torrance, and Will goes, "Where are these kids from? They're good." Teresa? Will has also had his fair share of anger issues with baseball, from throwing gloves to punching walls to throwing his bat over the dugout and almost hitting a kid. We've got some good stories together, bro. From going to watch CVU play, and those hot cheerleaders came and sat next to us, and I tried to make you make a play on them. Then to hitting each other with golf carts. Will, you're a great player and a great friend, and CVU is lucky to have you next year, and I know you'll do great things there.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ethan Schmidt. I know this light can run long, so I will be short. Speaking of short, I'm here to talk about Stephen Barlow. Stephen is known for his own word that he created, and if you'd like to show us. Stephen is a great teammate. He would do anything for the team and give you the shirt off his back, which is only useful if it's a size small. All kidding aside, Stephen's dedication and perseverance was inspirational for our team. Stephen had one of the best senior days at Canyon baseball. He was 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs that game, and made one of the greatest diving plays ever at Canyon. Thank you, Stephen, for all the hard work and dedication you gave to the team. Congratulations on getting into Cal State Fullerton. Best of luck there. We will miss you, brothers always.
All right, I had the opportunity to talk about Connor Clift, otherwise known on our team as Gramps. He always had stories to tell about everything we talked about. And yes, his forehead is very proportional to the rest of his body. Besides the fact, he was the very first senior that I felt comfortable talking to. Maybe it was because we were both catchers, but I knew I could always ask him questions about baseball or even just life and not get made fun of or judged. He would understand my struggle and take the time to teach it to me. Even if I did something wrong, he would show me how to do it correctly. He is capable of anything he sets his mind to. I will never forget our moments together this season. He will go on to do great things in college. CVU is very lucky to have you on their team. And by the way, good luck with Will the next few years. You're going to need it. I have some really big shoes to fill, and I will make the most of it. Thank you for everything. I'm going to miss you a lot.
Alright, this is the first time they let me hear the mic in 3 years, so let's see how this goes. Yeah. So I have the honor to talk about Ras today. I don't know if you guys know, but Ras actually lost some weight, so let's get a round of applause. Ras actually lost about 70 pounds, which is crazy, because that's actually about the same as his fastball. No, but seriously, Ras, I'm extremely proud of you. I know everyone knows this too. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and LA Fitness basketball. Me and Ras have been best friends for 2 years now, and this year I was lucky enough to be his catch partner, which kept me in shape because I had to run for a ball every 3 throws. Alright, I can easily sit here and roast Ras all day, but that would be too easy, so I decided to make it hard and say some nice things about him. Ras, you're the most hardworking person I know. You can do anything you set your mind to, and I know you're going to be successful in life no matter what you end up doing. You meant a lot to this team, especially in league, but you meant more to me. I love you like a brother, and I always will. I'd like to take this time to congratulate you on your commitment to APU. to continue your education, career in baseball, and relationship with Mariah. All right. All right, APU has one hell of a player next year, and you will be dearly missed by everyone, remembered for being a hard worker, the biggest complainer, and all around a great person. But now, Ras, I want to have a heart-to-heart with you, man. Yeah, I know. One sec, I'll ask where I was. This is awful. Alright, I found it. Alright. Ras, I love you, man. You've always been someone I can count on. I never had a question if you cared or wanted the best for me. A little story for you guys. I actually got into a car accident at 2 in the morning when a guy hit me. And my first instinct was to call Ras. So I called Ras at 2 in the morning, and 10 minutes later he shows up. And honestly, he was more scared and concerned than me. All I was worried about were the Kit Kats I left on the passenger seat.
I'm gonna miss you more than anything, Ras. I'll miss you for everything you were to me. My teammate, my biggest annoyance, and the best big brother I can ever ask for. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to start by saying thank you to JT for everything you've done for me. From taking me to school, us getting donuts before school, and always taking me home from practice. What I've noticed about JT ever since we played baseball together is that he's the same person on and off the field, a player. I know that at the start of the season, it was a little hard to hit the ball in the hole, but why'd you have to get a hole in your ear? I know I don't only speak for myself when I say that I am very proud for JT for recovering from a surgery and working his butt off every single day, and now is going to be playing college ball at Santa Ana. JT was the first senior that I had became close friends with on this team, and still, we become closer and closer by the day, and I will never do anything to trade our bond. I still remember the exact moment at Angel Stadium when Ras, Jacob, Karen, and I went to the mound right before the inning, and how emotional it all must have been for you when we all were hugging. I do not know how I would have figured anything out if I didn't have you to be my mentor throughout this whole entire year. JT, you are like an older brother to me, and I know you're going to be very successful in anything you do. And I hope you come back and visit us, because along with everyone else, I sure as hell will miss you.
Again, that was new. That was new this year. But that had to do with the idea that the younger guys really appreciated the fact that the older guys took them under their wing and they played well together, and that's what made this team very special. So a little roasting, a little fun with it, and good job. I like that. Don has a few presentations he wants to give here real quick.
I know you're all tired about this, so we're going to move this along pretty quick. But we could not have done what we did this last few years without the people on the board, and I want to recognize them right now. What they did and some of the things that they did to really, really help us out. The first one is Steve Bartolome. Steve was in charge of our IT department, or IT, setting up our website, basically designed it. We've hit a couple of stumbling blocks, but I think we're going to get through. But next year it should be up and running so everybody can get on it and we can enjoy it. Also did a lot of fundraising, raised a lot of money for us over the last 4 years. Also donated a lot of money, so Steve, I want to thank you very much, buddy. The next gentleman that got up here, this guy is unbelievable. I've known him for a long, long time. He's done a ton of work for not only Anaheim Hills Little League, but what he's done for us in the last 3 years as far as fixing, repairing, taking care of the fields. There's days that Donnie would be out there, him and Jackson both would be out there 2-3 hours during the day, fixing the fences, putting up windscreens, doing the wind toppers, stuff that nobody had any idea that this guy was out there. Electrical stuff. The list is a mile long of all the things that he accomplished for us over the last couple of years. Donnie, it did not go unnoticed. I don't know where you're at, buddy, but it did not go unnoticed, bud, and I really, really appreciate everything you did. Thank you, Donnie. This next gentleman the guru of finance is kind of what he is, and I think he's going to be your fearless leader next year, or at least that's hopefully the plan. When Eric first took over as the treasurer, he has a background in finance, so he was the perfect pick to get in there. Went through and straightened out some things that for years had kind of gone unnoticed. At one point, they were telling us that we were bringing in about $170,000, $180,000 a year. We're looking around going, that's not possible. So Eric dug deep into it, got our books straightened out the last couple of years, and now we actually know exactly where we're at to the penny at any time. You can call him up and say, how much is in the bank? He'll tell you. Eric Schmidt, thank you very much. This gentleman we kind of hijacked and tried to rope him into getting some things done for us. This season, his first year basically on the board. He was a little bit overwhelmed when he first got involved in it, but he definitely picked it up as the year went along. Began to realize what all was involved in it, made himself as available as he possibly could during the year, and was basically my right hand. When I needed fields permits done, when I needed different things done, I'd go to Dave, and Dave would sit there and have it done for me within the next day or so. Dave, can't thank you enough, buddy. Appreciate it, and welcome back to the board next year. This young lady, she was also the first-time board member this year. She jumped in with both feet, and sometimes I had to try to push her back off, because every once in a while she'd get a little heavy on my back. So they're like, what? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? But you need that, trust me. You got to keep everybody in check. She not only was our secretary, kept track of all the notes. There are so many votes, so many things that happen between board meetings. She was on top of them every month. Had the minutes prepared for us at our next board meeting with things that I had forgotten about that we had done or we had talked about. Kept us in line, kept the communication going with all three levels, with the parents on the varsity side of it. Lisa, thank you very much. And again, I want to thank all the parents and everything that you guys have done over the last 4 years to make this possible. Thank you.
Don ain't going anywhere. Again, we've been able to have Don be our president for the last couple of years, and it's just been a joy. He's doing everything he has to do above and beyond any president has ever done. And again, big round of applause for Don.
All right, I know y'all are nearly done, but we do have, I'm way too low for that. We have a few board members graduating this year, and I don't think it would be right to go tonight without acknowledging what these two have done for the program. And I'm going to keep it really short because I'm going to ball on both of them. So, Ms. Barlow, you were the very first person in this program to come and welcome us with open arms, and I can't tell you what that meant to us and what you mean to this program and everything that you've done. These boys are better players, these boys are better people because of everything that you brought to this program, so thank you very much. Confidant, DP, I promise I won't say the whole thing. Don't fall. The boys all said it, the video said it. I think that there's not a person in this room, I hope there's not a person in this room at this point who doesn't understand the impact that you've had on all these boys, on the board, everything that you've done to make this program better so that we can continue to grow and be what the players need it to be. I don't have the words, and I'm going to stop because I'm on the ball, but thank you very much. Unrecognized this evening, who put absolutely everything together that you're seeing, from the balloons to the cute lollipops on your table to the little gift boxes, to making sure that this was a phenomenal night for the boys and the parents. Sharon, we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
And again, tonight basically is a night of memories and just kind of thinking about the season and the people who really made everything possible and enjoying. Like I said, these seniors, they were here for 4 years and now they're going to be gone. They're going to be graduating here in a couple of weeks and on to their next chapter of their life. We're going to miss them dearly. The final thing we do, which is probably the most important thing all night, is we have each senior come up and they'll say a little something to their parents, and then they'll come over, grab their picture, and they'll go over and hand it to their parents. And we're going to start off in alphabetical order. Justin Allen.
Hi, this is my second time doing this year. I did it on polo, but nevertheless, it doesn't matter how much I put into anything. You guys will always pick me up when I'm down. Mom, you are my rock. You've done everything with me since I was little. I will always remember the times that you teach me to dance in the living room, and I stand on top of your feet, and you rock me back and forth, up to the times that you tuck me in and kiss me goodnight. And Dad, you are my biggest fan. No matter where the game is, no matter what the time is, you will always come, no matter what. You'll take days off work, you'll leave early, you have a meeting, you reschedule it. You are everything to me, and I cannot repay you for that. So, thank you.
So I've been playing ball for around 14 years now. My parents have been there almost every single game possible. Can't thank them enough for that. My mom, she's really busy with work, but I know she tries to come to as many games as possible. And if she doesn't, she still texts me like good luck and stuff. When I would get down myself, she would remind me of my talent and kind of try to boost my mood. I can't thank her enough. I also like to thank my sister. She would always ask me how my games went. She would always help me go through all my rough patches, and she's the best sister ever. Also like to thank my dad. He's been to every single high school baseball game, even though I didn't play for 2 years. He still showed up to every single game. He paid for batting lessons, took me to the cages, he drove me everywhere, and he believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Last year was rough for me, and I wanted to quit, and I told him I wanted to quit, and he didn't let me, and now I know that it was the right decision. It's probably the best decision I ever made, was not quitting baseball, and I look up to him every day, and I hope one day I'd be great as a father as he can.
Nice, thank you. It's hard to sum up the past 4 years in 4 minutes. Obviously, my family's been a huge impact on my life. First off, Kev, I don't think anybody in this room can summarize you. That's a good thing. The most loving, caring, even sometimes he doesn't show it, but on the inside I know he feels that way. I cannot say enough good things about you, from the hardest working man that I know to literally working every single day since you were 16 years old. As he always says, Spencer knows this, packing 80-foot trailers or whatever it was when he was 10 years old every summer. And so I'll always appreciate every late night talk we have till it's 12 o'clock, 1 in the morning, and then he just watches Westerns. For some reason, that's his thing. Mom, you're the sweetest, most understanding, loving person I've ever met in my entire life, and I don't care who else comes on this stage. I have the best mom in the world. So there's a little story that I know she's not going to talk to me on the way home for this, but it's called the Mama Bear Baby Cub story. And I was at a baseball game one time, and if you've seen my mom, she always stays far away from anybody else and doesn't talk to anybody. But the one time she was near somebody, there was a parent talking not very good things about some of the players. And she came home that night, and she said, "You know what, that is not okay. Every moment for the rest of my life, I will stand up for you because I'm your mama bear, and you're my baby cub." And so I love you with my whole entire heart, and I'm so proud to be your baby cub. Spenny, this is the nicest thing I'm ever going to say about you, so soak it in. Spenny, you're my best friend. I wouldn't trade you for the whole entire world. Some of the best memories and the best laughs of my life have been with you. Also, thank you for letting me beat you up my whole childhood. If you ask me, I've won every fight. I guarantee it. Mom, best referee ever. I'm so happy that you found your love for firefighting, and that will always fulfill your dream of helping somebody every single day when they need you. Even though Kev's last-ditch attempt to coach you into becoming a teacher was, "Hey, Spenny, you know buildings don't fall on you when you're teaching, right?" It was from that point forward, he just looked at Kev and just walked out when he was going to Idlewild. And from that point forward, I knew he found something that he loved. Also, my Aunt Patricia and Uncle Bill, thank you for supporting me and being loving for my whole life. And I'm so excited that I get to play near you guys next year so you can drive and come watch me play. And Aunt Patricia, thank you for always showing me the most recent pictures of my nieces and nephew every time I see you. I love that. Back in Texas where I'm from, right, JT? No. Aside from my family, I couldn't have gone to college or competed at the varsity level for 4 years. I mean, everybody at this table, from Zach to Alex, Jason, Nahara, Ayala, Johnny Miller, Trent Carrier, Derek Merrill, Denny Hawking, Matt Trainer, Brent May, John Wilson when I was 5 years old, teaching me how to play the game the right way. That if your socks aren't on right, you're not walking between the lines. My freshman year, this is going back, I had a good fall, if I remember it right, and I had a chance to start at least a few games, and that was saying a lot to me as a person. There's only been, in coaches 30 plus years, there's only been 5 people that have ever done that. And so I knew that was a big responsibility. And my first game, I'm catching Brendan Cogville's second game against La Havre, February 28th. And I'm shaking. I'm freaking out. Coach Nahara probably doesn't know this. And I go up to Coach Merrill. He's a pitching coach. I go, "Coach, I need something, like anything, any piece of advice at all that will get me through this game." And he looks at me and goes, "Oh yeah, sure, I got something for you." buy a plunger before you need a plunger. And I was like, that's perfect, that's exactly what I needed. Later that season, we were playing against La Habra, game 2 at home, game 3 was senior day. Coach Nahara comes up, I'm sitting on the bench putting my shin guards on. Coach Nahara comes up to me. First of 2 times he ever put his arm around me in 4 years. And he puts his arm around me, looks at me, and goes, Cliffy, quit playing like a freshman. And I paused and I looked at him, I'm like, what does that even mean? And then Coach Jason walked over and he's like, what did Mike say? He said, I have something to say to you. I was like, he said quit playing like a freshman. Jason, listen, what does that even mean? And so it took me until my junior year to figure out what that meant. And Kev had to partially explain it to me. Moral of the story is don't be a blind dog in a meat house. Don't wait for somebody to tell you what to do before you do it. You need to take ownership of the situation and command. You're in charge of everything. And that's a lesson that I'm going to take into next year. When I go to my first company after that, I won't be a freshman. I'll never be a freshman the rest of my life. I believe that my immaturity at the time, I was an immature 14-year-old, now I'm an immature 18-year-old, not much has changed. But that lesson will definitely stick with me the rest of my life. And finally, last story, I'm sorry, 4 years, I got a lot to say. Coach Ayala, I've only seen him upset twice in 4 years. Both of them were this year, believe it or not. I'm not going to say what happened. But almost every practice, Coach Ayala would look at everybody and he would say, baseball's like a pizza. It's all about the ingredients. And then if he feels like nobody heard me, go, Dave Serrano, what a great guy. Freshman year, we played, I think it was El Dorado at home and lost. And Coach Al looked at everybody, he goes, guys, baseball's like an ice chest. And then the coach Nahara looks at him like, Vinny, where are you going with this? He's like, Mike, I've had this on my chest for a few days, I need to get it off. And he goes, if you show up to the field, if you wake up in the morning, you just throw everything in your ice chest, you're not ready to play. But if you put it in there, nice and neat, every water bottle, every Gatorade's got a spot, you're ready to go. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it was great. It was awesome. Still don't know. But what it means is it's all about the little things. Like every little thing adds up to be one monumental thing, and always focus on the details. Dave Serrano, what a great guy. It's been a pleasure being your TA this year. It's been awesome. Really hard class. Don't know how I have 110% in it. That's all I got.
So, my freshman year of high school, I'm going to say thank you to them first before I get to you guys. I love you so much, but my freshman year of high school, Donnie Boy never used to really tell me stuff. Fool almost died when I was 14, and it was crazy stuff, but he would never tell me. Spenny knew, though, and Spenny was my rock my freshman year. I'd had a rough time, but I've never really thanked you enough for that. Spenny would pick me up for games, take me to games, take me to go get food after games. Spenny, you're like the coolest kid ever, dude, and I really appreciate you. And I'm really happy to have you in my life. You're awesome. Zach, I like talking to girls with you, about girls with you a lot. You always give me advice on what to do, and I take that to heart, man. I got you. Alex, I just met you, but you're super dope and really good looking, so good for you. Mike, I already got you. Jason, even though you bat me like 13th with OCP and never really play me, I still love you so much, dude. Like, you got me to where I am in baseball, and I think I'm kind of decent because of you, so I appreciate it a lot. Vinny, I've never seen someone who smiles so much, and I think it's pretty dope, and you're a really awesome guy. Now to my parents. Connor pretty much said everything I was about to say about my dad, so you took my fame. Thanks, buddy. You took one of my lines about the 57 and all that stuff, whatever. Anyways, Dawn and Sharon,
If anyone has ever wondered why I called them that, it's because when I was little, there'd be about 30 kids at Pep's Pizza yelling Mom and Dad at the same time. Me, being the alpha male I am, resorted to calling them Don and Sharon, and that got their attention right away, so thought that was a power move by me. I'm going to keep the one for Don short because the whole night's pretty much been about him, so we're going to shade off and... Donnie Boy, a.k.a. Coach Don, a.k.a. Slim Master Flex. I don't know what it's like to live the way you do, and I'm sure not a lot of people do, but I'm going to guess it's not easy. When I was 12, you got diagnosed. I didn't really know what it meant. As years went on, you got worse, and you would always tell people you weren't going to go anywhere until you saw me graduate. And you did it. You are a savage for that. I don't know how you did it, but you did. Clearly you accomplished that goal, so I decided to return the favor and get you tattooed on me for the rest of my life, so I will always have you with me. Now, you heard about Don, how he goes through all these cancer treatments and everything he has to go through, but Mom, I wrote stuff, but I'm going to go from the heart because I love you more than Dad. No offense, Dad. Who do you guys think has to deal with the 57 treatments, the 30 treatments, the surgeries, the constantly taking care of 2 kids, me and Dad, always having to do all that stuff? All of you think my dad is the superhero here, but you don't even see his sidekick. My mom is the greatest and strongest woman you will ever meet in your life. The things she has to go through every single day for my family, from my dad to me, and I really appreciate it, and I love you so much. Every time before I go outside the house, you go, JT, make good choices. If anything ever happened to you, I don't know what I would do with myself. You yell at me. Seriously, every time I go out, she yells that. It's insane. The lady's crazy. And every night I come home just fine. Hi, Mom. Hi, good night. Every time. But until I started to get older, I never really realized what it meant to care about someone that much. You started working this job and you work really late, and I started staying up because I worry about you, because you're my mom, duh, and I wanted to make sure you're safe. You work in Irvine and it rains a lot nowadays, and I get very scared when you have to drive on the toll road by yourself, because I know you're not a very good driver. Come here, Mom, come here. Come here. Come here. If Dawn is Superman, this is Wonder Woman right here. This is the lady y'all need to know. She's the coolest lady ever meet, best mom. Sorry, Connor, I do have the best mom. She goes through some crazy stuff in her life, and you don't even know it. You take care of a big baby over there, you take care of a big baby right here, and I love you so very much. Thank you for everything.
So to give everyone some context about what it's like in my life, my dad was in the military for 22 years, and my mom can yell at me like she's a drill sergeant at Navy SEAL boot camp. All that aside, my parents mean so much to me, and I love them more than anything. My mom is great. She makes me food, always makes sure she gets what I want from the grocery store, and most importantly, she tries as hard as she can to keep me from screwing up. She also is always in the bleachers yelling, "Go John, go," whenever I'll get a hit. She takes pictures of me and has always been my #1 supporter no matter what. Even though I can argue with you for hours on end about absolutely nothing, I am so thankful for everything you have done for me. And now, there's my dad. He was the man who taught me how to play baseball, paid for all my lessons in travel ball, and made sure he would be at all my games. I still remember when I was in Little League when my mom and I had to make him sit in the outfield every game because of how much he would yell at the umpires. He has also been the biggest role model in my life and is the type of person I want to be in the future because of the way he takes care of my family and makes sure we have the best life possible. Thank you guys for being so supportive of me and giving me the life that I have. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love you guys.
To end off, I would like to leave you all with a quote from my dad that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Don't let your last words be watch this. Thank you.
I'm still wondering if this thing moves up. No. So, I'd like to give a quick thank you to my parents for being the most supportive people in my life. From the early years to now, from every single early morning to late night tournament in the city an hour away, to Palm Desert and Vegas. From T-ball to varsity, and next year to college baseball, they've always been funding and supporting me every step of this journey. I'd like to thank them for the opportunities they presented me with and for the role models they've been to me. Thank you, Mom, for bringing me into this world, for teaching me how to be a gentleman, and for giving me my competitive spirit. Thank you, Dad, for being my coach for almost 11 years, for teaching me how to hit a baseball, and for being my own video analyst. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the both of you. I love you and thank you.
Alrighty. So we all know we're on the topic of parents here, so I'm going to get right into it. Mark, Jennifer, 18 years of constant support, love, and the push to achieve what I put my mind to. I sincerely appreciate everything from the long tournament weekends, constantly hearing you scream, Mom, that laugh, never ending. The latest and new equipment and all the private lessons. They have raised me to be humble and to always work hard. As many of you know, a couple years ago I had 2 hip surgeries, hence the name Robo Brock. But my parents played the biggest part in why I never gave up. The time of recovery was the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my life. But the biggest supporters I had were my parents and I guess my brother for calling me a so-called female dog as much as he could until I was able to walk again. There were a lot of sleepless nights, discomfort, and tons of anger, but my parents were the ones that got me through it. Not just then, but they always support and love me through everything. I can never say thank you enough. I love you both.
It moves fast.
Okay, so to my parents, thank you for all you've done for me. The love and support you guys have given me is priceless. Most people grew up playing catch with their dads, but I grew up playing catch with my mom while my dad was in college getting his degree. Mom, you have been my biggest supporter. I'll never forget the times in the league. Every time I would get a hit, you would scream your lungs out, and the first baseman would always ask me, "Who is that?" And I'd be like, "That's my mom." I will also remember the countless times you would scream at the umpire for making a bad call or you getting in a bad argument with another parent from the other team. Whether I played good or bad, you always take me to get food because we all know I like eating. Thank you for being the best mother I could ask for. Dad, also known as Big Dan. Yeah. 3 words I can describe you are funny, encouraging, and hardworking. You have been a great role model to me. Through the ups and downs, you have been there to encourage me, make me laugh, and help me get through it. Whether it was injuries, school, work, or even just the hardships of life. You have always told me to look onward and upward, and that's something I'll remember and live by the rest of my life. I cannot wait to make lots of memories with the both of you over my next 4 years of my college career, and I cannot thank you enough for the things you have done for me. Thank you.
Thanks everybody for being so patient. I know it's a long night, but it's a special night. We want to say, good luck to our seniors. We're going to miss them. All the younger guys got a lot of work to do. Starts again on Friday, tomorrow, so a lot of work. I want to thank all my coaches. I want to thank all you parents for making it a very, very special night. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much.